It's Heather Lawrence here with Breezeway Productions, and we're here at the Digital Hollywood Summit. You're wondering what that is? It's amazing. It's all this latest technology in film and just getting your content out there, and we're going to talk to some really interesting people and show you the latest in Hollywood. Here I am with Luke Wilson, and we're here because of your new film, Satellite Beach. So tell us a little about Satellite Beach. I know it's about the space shuttle and moving it to across Los Angeles.
They brought it to LA on top of this NASA 747, then they took it off that at LAX and put it on this machine called a crawler transporter, and they took it 11 miles through town to the California Science Center. And you'd think they'd kind of take it down, you know, like the 405 to the 10, just because that's the easiest and the most direct. But they took it on this kind of circuitous route through town, and they started in Westchester and then went down by the Forum and then kind of down by Crenshaw and then over by the Coliseum. But yeah, just this interesting route where they went through these great little neighborhoods, and yeah, it was just a really exciting few days.
So what was the inspiration for this? What made you want to do a film about it, though? About a guy that you said, your character obviously is a guy that pretends to work for this?
Yeah, well, I'd read an article in the LA Times about the guy that was actually in charge of moving the space shuttle, the guy that was really in charge of it, and he just sounded like a very intelligent, interesting guy. And he said things like, I go to bed thinking about it, and I wake up thinking about it, and I drive the route almost daily. And I thought, well, gosh, it's kind of consumed his life, as I'm sure those projects, you know, do. But then I thought, well, gosh, I'd like to play a guy that maybe thought he was in charge of the project, but wasn't.
So compared to the other stuff you've done, what is different about this film for you?
Well, I mean, just did it totally on our own. Me and my brother Andrew directed it, and then Chris Malick, my friend that I've worked with before, he and I produced it with friend Steve Eckelman that grew up with, and this other friend Buck Ritchie. And yeah, we just, you know, it's like you'll work on different projects and try and get things made, and you know, there's this thing in Hollywood called development. And people have ideas, and no, but you know, things can get kind of bogged down, and you know, politics come into play, and people have notes, and you'll think, well, gosh, I'm getting notes from this person. Do I have the same taste as them? Or
so, what do you hope people gain from this, watching this film, or if anything at all?
Well, for starters, it's only 26 minutes. Okay. So even if you don't gain anything, you've only lost 26 minutes. You can lose that watching an episode of Friends.
So is this like a segue for you to start doing movies on your own and start producing or maybe directing? Is that what you're kind of going in?
I feel that the long form feature is a dead medium. No, I said that to a guy from the Austin newspaper, and he printed it, which doesn't look so good in print. Makes you look like a real jerk. No, you know, again, just I always think about it like a short story, and I mean, I'd love to do a whole movie just with my friends and guys that I enjoy working with and that you trust and that have really good ideas, and you know, kind of have done that before, but yeah, would like to do it more often.
But you're going to stick with the mainstream too.
Yeah, but you know, do both. I mean, I just, you know, I always think about people like, you know, Dennis Hopper kind of did more kind of offbeat things, and then more kind of Hollywood mainstream things. And truth is, as a moviegoer, I like all kinds of movies.
I heard about a movie, Unemployment. You tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's Unemployed is this movie that my friend Mark Wallace, aka King Orba, he and I had just worked on these characters, Chet and Howie, for a couple years, where we would just sit around and talk about these guys and talk about scenes, and we gradually just came up with this kind of whole story for these guys. And then after Satellite Beach, we said, well, we should do for some reason we started calling it an episode of Unemployed, to where it like felt like a show about these two guys, but they work at a Chinese restaurant called Ling's, and one day they quit, and they're going to go to San Francisco to take a tour of Alcatraz, but Chet leaves Howie at a Mexican supermarket, and then he goes to, man, the more I talk about this out loud, I'm glad we did it already, because I'm running out of,
You're talking to yourself out.
Talking about it.
Oh, no.
No, it's good. It's funny, and yeah, we wanted to do kind of like a little slapstick buddy comedy, which is what we did, and we're just kind of in post-production on that.
That's exciting. So now, since this seminar is sort of about people that want to get into filmmaking or just find out how, what advice would you give to people, that are just trying to make it?
I mean, I would say just try and find a group of people or friends or people that are just kind of like-minded in terms of, just movies you like or directors you like. And then the way cameras and technology is today, you can rent them or buy them, but I think it's much easier to kind of make your own little film, which is exciting. I mean, there's that documentary about the making of Apocalypse Now, and Francis Ford Coppola back in 1979 saying, I feel like in the future there's going to be a 10-year-old girl with her own camera making her own movie, and that's basically, I think, the time that we're living in.
So real quick, what's your favorite character you've done so far? Any movie you've done, what's the favorite thing?
I would like Warren Flowers from Satellite Beach a lot. Just because he seems like kind of a nice, sensitive guy, and also I just think about movies where I've had fun on, like, the Royal Tenenbaums. I enjoyed that character, and it's not so much the characters I played, but maybe the people I worked with. Like being around Will Ferrell, that's probably about the most fun I've ever had, and it's nice when that translates for moviegoers, that they have fun watching somebody like that, just the way I had fun being around them.
Well, you seem very sweet, and so thank you so much for spending time with us today. Yeah, so look forward to seeing your film.
Thanks.